The other one is just finishing up. They were just a minute behind you or so. So they're writing their example and then we'll come back together. This is again where it's sad that you can't do a progressive proof. If I was doing this in class, I would totally do a progressive proof, and that would be fun or beneficial because you'd have to be working with someone else's counterexample. So I really wish we could do a progressive whiteboard proof on these. Then you could work with somebody else's counterexample, decide if it works, decide if it doesn't. That would be a good way to do these. But we are not in class, and it does not work to pass around a whiteboard. So the next time I teach this, we'll do it that way. Okay, so disproof by counterexample. How are we feeling about disproof by counterexample? Yes, doing good. This is easy proofs. Hopefully, these are easy proofs. In the grand mathematical scheme, so I have 12 minutes left. I'm going to take 2 of them. We're still going to finish early. In the grand scheme of mathematics, disproof is a huge thing. Like, it is a really big thing to come up with a specific counterexample to a theorem. Especially, or I should say to a conjecture, especially when you don't know if a conjecture is true or false, and you don't know if you should be trying to prove it or trying to disprove it. A lot of times what happens is if there's this big statement out there, and there are definitely big statements out there that we don't know if they're true or false, people try to find counterexamples and they try to find counterexamples and they can't find any. And so then the guess is, okay, this statement is probably true. That's not a proof, right? You'd still have to come up with a proof, but the guess is if I can't find a counterexample, then the statement's probably true. And so this is a big thing. Like, there are theorems out there, conjectures out there that if you find a counterexample to them, I kid you not, there are $1 million problems. Like, prove or disprove this. And I'm being literal, $1 million, right? So if you can come up with a counterexample to one of these and disprove it, you will, there's a $1 million prize associated with these. Now, again, we're guessing that they're probably true because we haven't come up with any counterexamples, but we're not sure. So counterexamples in math are a big deal, for real. They really are. Okay. The stuff we're not talking about in chapter 9 is disproving existence statements. That's hard. And then disproof by contradiction. And I know how much we loved proof by contradiction the first time around, so we are not doing disproof by contradiction the second time around. But I would encourage you to just read through those sections. Don't read them super carefully. Don't read them like you're reading for a reading assignment or anything like that. But just take a glance through and kind of look at some of the math that we are skipping. Next time on Monday, we are going to start chapter 10, which is mathematical induction. I believe that this is one of the last categories in your proof notebook, I think. There might be one after that. I'm not totally sure. I'd have to look. So the induction is definitely a category in your proof notebook, though, and that is something that we're going to spend some time on Monday and Wednesday next week on. Okay. Going once, going twice. Anything else for questions before I let you go a little early on a Friday? Lauren, yes.
I was just gonna ask, like, for writing like the therefore statement for these kind of things.
Yep.
You just like say then like this set would equal this, but it doesn't equal this. Is that like fine?
Yes. Yep. Okay. And then I usually, once again, I like to summarize. I like to remind my readers that I'm done. So we would say, therefore, and you don't have to rewrite the whole statement if you don't want to. You can just say the statement is false as desired. But I like putting that very last line in there. Yeah. Other questions? Anything else? Okay. Grant, you can stay on and do differential equations question. Yes. All right. Okay, cool.